last saw the VXR, we had completed the headwork, installed the bigger Pulsar turbo, intercooler and so forth, but it wasn't quite running right.
So we've had quite a few people asking now what is going on with the Astra VXR. Yes, on the last video we did have a couple of issues. It wasn't running right. I thought it was some sort of boost leak, and I was right. There was basically the smoke was coming through the turbo, which there was a little bolt missing by there, which we've now sorted, and also one of the clamps for the intercooler pipe down here also had a bit of smoke coming out of it, so they're now fixed. I've spoken to Ped and Ashley, and we think we know what the problem is, and now I have tested this. Yes, we have a massive intake on it now. So what we've done was unplug the MAF, and it's running a lot better. So the plan of action today is I want to get this car buttoned up and kicked out of this garage, because it's been sat here now up on axle stands for quite some time and we're not happy about it. So the plan of attack today is I have actually fitted the Imperial Aircon Delete. Now we are having issues with a lot of squealing when it's tight. When it's loose, it's squealing even more. So I've been told by a couple of people now that the Imperial AC Delete is not the best one to use. The R&D one is better. And once again, I want to say a massive shout out to TJ for sorting me out with this, which is the R&D pulley for the AC Delete. Now I got a new belt as well to go on there, which I bought online. R&D tell you which size you need if you are doing this and you need a new belt. That is the one that I've ordered. So the plan of attack today, I do still need to move this radiator in ever so slightly. It is just, I can't quite see it there, but it's just touching the intercooler pipe. Now I don't like that, so I'm going to adjust the bracket today so we can move the radiator in just a couple of mil, just to take it away. Just to take it away from the pipe, so we obviously haven't got much heat transfer. Everything else is fitted. Put the other headlight in, which I'm probably going to have to take out now because I got a mess with it. I got to fit all the washer, bottle. This all side can be buttoned up. Then we're going to drop it out, kick it out, and get some run-in videos to show you guys that it does run, and then it can go in for mapping next month. Imperial Delete kit here now. I've moved the catch can out of the way just for ease of access. The Imperial kit is literally just a smaller belt, the bottom pulley, and this metal bracket here, and that's what gives you the adjustment for tension. Whereas the new kit, the R&D kit, uses the original tensioner. Obviously this hasn't got a tensioner, so hence why it's a bit better of a kit. Original alternator bracket is now bolted on. I just got to tighten that bottom bolt there on the alternator. Belt is on. We had to put the bracket in a vise, use a big set of grips to turn the tensioner, so obviously take the tension off, and then we popped I say we, my father's give me a hand. Obviously Drew's working today, it's Christmas Eve everyone, yay, here we go. Anyway, so yeah, I had to put an Allen key in there obviously to lock the tension. So yeah, next step now, everything's tight down there, like I said, one more bolt to do there, and then we get to pull the tension back into the belt, and fingers crossed that is it then. I will be selling the Imperial one. I've spoken to a few people, they've never had issues. TJ said he did have an issue with his. Like I said, I don't know if mine was just purely because I couldn't take much tension off because of my inlet manifold. I know that was causing an issue because it was touching it, so I couldn't really, trying to get the belt off was a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, I will be selling the Imperial one. But yeah, let's take that off. I can build the intake and everything back up then. This side is then complete. So I'm gonna have a quick look at this radiator bracket. Now I've removed the washer fluid bottle. It's just if I can try and get something to stop that touching there, because obviously I don't want too much heat transfer. I know it's close anyway, but I just don't want it touching it. So yeah, I'll see if I can try and figure it out there now. Always something, isn't it? So a little sit rep. Once again, we're running into more problems. It's never just bolt things on and away you go, is it? So I fitted this bracket here, which has got the new tensioner. As you can see, I have been hacking away at it with the angle grinder, just trying to take off a little bit of stuff there, because the intake pipe now hits this. So the only bit I've got to do now is just take it back to that line there, and then that should clear. Obviously this was fitted with the Imperial AC Delete kit. This is why you can't run aircon with this with any basically big turbo by the look of it. Probably people have, but not with this setup. So what I have to do now is just take that little bit more off so I can put the intake pipe on. Once again, if I had this custom fabricated with nitromobium, which it definitely is going to go in for because it needs an intake. This one sucks. So yeah, I got to do that next. Just waiting for this to charge up because I lost one of my batteries and now I found it. Anyway, so we had a little problem with it. These are self-tappers. The one was just spinning, so that's on secure. Headlight in. Battery and tray in. Obviously not rigged up just yet. I've managed to get this away from the radiator, so we have got clearance now. Washer bottle's now fitted. I've tidied up some of the wiring. So yeah, I just cut off a bit more of that now. Then I can fit the intake. Give it a good clean out first, because obviously there's metal filings everywhere. You probably noticed I have blanked the turbo to make sure nothing goes in there. Yeah, once again, give it a good clean off. I can drop it down and then I can do a first start with you guys. Scary times. We are pretty much there. I even put the wheel on. I put the headlights in, which is really weird to see because it's been on axle stands with no headlights in it for months and months. But yeah, next step, I'm going to drop it down as the intake is in there. Does need, once again, like I said, it will need redoing, but I'm only going to get that done from nitromobium. But yeah, apart from that, I think I'm ready to drop it down and give it a first start. If we had seen it at a normal height. Obviously used to leaning over it to try and get into there, but yeah, let's torque the wheel up, open the garage and see what I can do, see if it starts. So I just checked all the levels on it. I think we're ready. I'm going to leave the MAF unplugged. Like I said, we unplugged it after we started filming last time. Oh, sorry, after we finished filming last time. And it seemed to run a lot better. So, moment of truth. Please keep your fingers crossed for me. This is genuine. I haven't even started it yet. As I said, I'm just about to do the first start. I know Drew would be loving this right now. Nah, he'd probably be quite nervous for me too. Right, here we go. First start in months. Okay. We started. That was a positive. I have got a solid flywheel, so you're going to hear that. Just to let you guys know. If you haven't seen this video, this car before on our channel. One got a squeaky alternator. Fantastic. This is the cams on this have been reprofiled as well, so it's been ticking over now for at least 5 minutes and it's settled down. Love the cam sound, man. It sounds awesome. It does need one hell of a clean. It's been stuck in this bloody garage for ages. Let's have a look at the temperature. Don't look at that one because it's wrong. I've got to change. I've changed the sensor. It wasn't the sensor, it's the cheapy gauge that was given with the car. No disrespect to Marcus, but yeah, it is crap. So we got 74 degrees. We have got heaters because I did bleed it last time. I made sure we did have heat and everything through, but I just want to try and get it up to temperature now. See if we can see it's actually holding revs now. Whereas last time it was up and down, up and down. So yeah, I don't want to rev it too much because I don't want to do it now. But I have got the same injectors, and obviously it's just taking in a lot more air now. So we do need a map to sooner rather than later, but I'm just going to let it tick over and let it come up to temperature. So we get these fans kicking in, because I couldn't get them kicking in last time. They only went up to like 97 degrees. It's just, yeah, it's very cold at the moment as well. It's Christmas Eve and it's chilly. I think it's like 3 to 4 degrees. So I don't know if they are going to kick in or not, but I know that can't be anything major if it does go down the map and it needs that sorted. But yeah, I'll check back in now, let it warm up and see what she does. See if it's happy. So there we have it. The VXR seems quite happy. I've got a few heat sockets through it now. Unfortunately, I can't get it hot enough to see if the fans are kicking in. It's only going up to like 82 degrees because it's so cold. Obviously on a run on a dyno we'll find out if they do kick in, which I hope they do. There's no reason they shouldn't. I've wired them up to the positive and negative as I should. So we'll leave it at that for now. We have got lots of videos coming up on the Astra, so please stay tuned. We got some nice tasty more suspension bits as well as the power we're going for. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that hype button, and we'll see you on the next one. Boom! Ah, no booms. Yay! Yet.